please. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Bring the beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies out in.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And he's into the clear. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 79 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. A great return there of 22 yards. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. Breaks through the contact. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 17 yards out, as the Ravens push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. A very good return that time. 18 yards. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter. And with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner, the Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, his car.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Houston. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable for Thomas. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. So big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. If he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
All day, dog. Hey, I got motion, man.
Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 8 yards out, as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their...
Double time, go. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Jackson to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Thomas. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 20-13, the final score. From there, we take the trip across Lake Erie to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Amari Cooper, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Devontae Freeman, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
Jackson on first down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Jackson, and Thomas has it. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll make it third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw again is Jackson. He gives it to Thomas. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a...
To throw again on second down. Jackson. Roberts has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 25-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. 25 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. 30, past the 20, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now Jackson on first down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, 5, And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew,
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I copy, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. If